Hello everybody out there, YouTube land. Hope you're all having a fine day, whatever time it may be. Hi Anchor Panker, what you doing, babe? What you doing? You just outside playing? You just outside playing and hanging? Oh, thank you, those sweet kissers. Thank you. Yeah, how you doing? I know. We're gonna get ready here in a little bit, okay? Just doing a little bit of crocheting. Just doing a little bit of crocheting. Oh, it's beautiful morning. Well, beautiful early start to the day down here in Florida. The weather down here is just can't really beat it. That's for sure. Oh, I'm on my last row here. Sweet. Yeah, you can't beat the weather down here. It's gonna be in the 70s again today. Late December. That just blows my mind. Never had that before. And it really is a little paradise. They say the summers get pretty bad. So I don't know about all that. But sorry I haven't been live so much lately. I know I said I would more once I got here, but I've been doing a lot of work out in the yard, getting the yard ready for springtime and getting the gardens ready. I'm gonna put in a little flower slash rock garden. I'm thinking up by the deck around this one tree. It's gonna look really good. Then a little herb garden, kind of connected to that, right to the edge of it. And then around to the back of the garage. Actually, I could just, well, it doesn't look all that great right now. There's some stuff laying around that I want to move and this and that, so we're not going to show it just yet. But got all the leaves raked up, got all that kind of stuff done, got it all put back. Well, a certain kind of leaf I'm not going to use as a compost. It looks like a really thick leaf that retains water really well, and I don't want it to kind of like oak leaves, the certain type of oak leaves from up north. It takes them forever to break down and decompose, so we don't put those in our gardens until years later. Let them really, really decompose and dry out and stuff. So I found I'm not even sure what kind of tree. There's so many different trees down here. I need to learn. But yeah, you don't want to put leaves that take a long time to break down into your soil. Um, for one, there's a lot of acid in oak leaves. So I don't know. I have a lot of learning to do about all the other vegetation around here. I'm hoping to run into or speak to some gardeners from around here. I guess the Mennonite population is somewhat big around here, and I'd love to run into some of them. Just when you're gardening and you're especially in a new area you've never been to, like a total different climate change, you really want to ask questions. I mean, the book may not always be correct. You know, the book may say something that's totally opposite from all the people in the area that do gardens. Adam doesn't know too many people around here that do gardens, but I can talk gardening with just about anybody. I can walk up to somebody and just start. I don't know. That's one thing about northern Indiana that you learn living out in the country is just there aren't a whole lot of people. So when you see one, it's okay to just walk up and start talking to them. You know, people are used to that and asking them questions. There were so many old men that was kind of like a rite of passage to a lot of these farmers. They had their farm fields and this and that and yada yada yada, but then they had their garden, and that's where they ate their food from. And man, these old men had some beautiful gardens, and they knew how to take care of them. And you could sit there and pick their brain all day. They loved me because I always had questions to ask them. And I would actually apply the knowledge that they bestowed upon me, you know, the knowledge that they shared with me. I actually took heed of what they said and tried it out. And I got some great results. Deep inside the rabbit hole, David Weiss has had some great ideas about, you know, there's a lot more people getting into this now. So we need to take some of these old videos that we made years ago and reintroduce them back into circulation somewhat. There's so many videos. I mean, once you've been making videos for 3 years and you did certain things way back when and this and that, and there's all these newer people now that have never seen it. And for everybody else who's been in the game for a while, you know, even people who've been in the game for a while, I mean, there's been so many different people making videos on the flat earth topic that it would be impossible to keep up with everyone. And that's been for years now. At first it was pretty easy when there was, you know, 20, 30 people making videos. You could have all them subscribed and get pretty much everything that's going on in the flat earth. But now it's not the same way. And it's not so much that there's groups and, you know, certain, which there are. I mean, there always are going to be cliques in every aspect of society wherever you go. That's just one of the things that human beings do. But you can't keep up with all the different, and it's not so much the new stuff coming out, because I've noticed there's not a lot new under the sun. People are moving on to different areas, but I'm really excited because Adam and I are going to start getting back into experimentation. Instead of just taking the videos and re-uploading them, I'm thinking of just redoing the whole video, the whole experiment, or the whole observation or test that I ran. I plan on doing it with a lot of the videos that I did. There's just so much knowledge it's not lost knowledge, it's just kind of forgotten already, or people hadn't seen it. And we need to rebroadcast all this stuff that we've shared before with a lot of the newer people. It's so easy to get caught up in the live streaming stuff. It really is. It's so, and I'm not saying anything about it being bad or anything like that. I love it. I know I've got another ball of hemp down here. Where'd you go, friend? Ball of hemp hiding from me. What are you doing, Stinker Bottom, huh? What are you doing down there, Stinker Bottom? I move my leg for 1 second and look at this guy. Look at him getting in there. Hey, Marcel. Oh, Mother Earth doesn't own me. She's, we're symbiotic. She's a beautiful creation. Now, where is that hemp? I had a ball of hemp, and I'm not sure. And you laying on my feet doesn't make it easier, Tingle Bottom. Yeah. There it is. That's not helping that out either. You guys Tinker Bottoms. What are you doing? Yeah, but there's so much older content. Content that's years old. That so many people haven't seen from a lot of content creators. There's just a lot of stuff out there that it hasn't been swept under the rug. It's just pretty much been, forgotten. It's still there. People can find it. And the censoring is getting. I actually showed this to my mom. Oh, simply divine. Very beautiful put. Beautifully put. But I brought it up with my mom that that they're blocking certain people on YouTube. And I brought it up to her a while ago, and she kind of rolled her eyes and was like, "Oh yeah, I'm sure, blah 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 blah." She knows about the lies and the deception and a lot of that stuff, but there's a lot of it that she just thinks is too much, too far, like the whole secret hidden cabal and the secret society world that is intertwined within our world. And it's just yeah, it's really, I'll say it again. This is jeez, what's going on? Hey, Trav, how we doing? Always a pleasure, brother. Yeah, don't worry about that. I've said this quote so many times, and I'll just keep saying it because it is. It's so true. It's by Plato, supposedly. If we can take history for what it's worth. Um, but it goes. Those able to see beyond the shadows and lies of their culture will never be understood, let alone believed by the masses. Hey, the Sute, we are dancers. In vibration. I love that. That name. Oh yeah, exactly. I believe it's about he was speaking openly. And it's really weird. I don't think I don't think it's anything new. The amount of people that can see the deception. Um, I believe the amount of people that are speaking out about the deception has grown for sure. The amount of people that have come out and not just about flat Earth or not just about everything. There's so many people just standing up and saying, "Wait, there's something wrong here." Oh, nice. Did you put out the crow show? I'm gonna have to jump on there and check it out, brother. Red Hen Radio. Red Hen with two N's. Radio. Now that's a website, right? .com. Yeah, the plain truth is starting up a new broadcasting platform to share ideas and new, it's. But like I was saying, the amount of people that are waking up to, like I said, not so much flat Earth, but just deception is. And don't get me wrong, there are still a lot of intelligent people, who do mentally challenging jobs, I would say. I don't want to say difficult jobs because there's so many difficult jobs out there. But, that are working on telecommunication. Well, they have office type jobs. I don't want to say that they're just smart because they have a certain type of job. But people that have gone to school and been educated that still can't see through all the nonsense. They can't wade through. They can have somebody that they know are lying to them tell them a lie, accept that it's a lie, you know, and then turn around and just believe the next thing that comes out of their mouth that they agree with. It's it's so frustrating when you're trying to tell them that, hey, all these people are just, they lie. That's their job. They're pretty much acting. Politician, um, the judges, the judicial system. Hello, Sandra. Hello, Cat's Eyes. Travis, yeah, absolutely. That's why I quit pushing stuff, or Simply Divine, I apologize. That's why I quit pushing stuff onto my family at all, and my friends, as far as the flat earth. I didn't, I mean, I've told them about it, and I've said my piece, and I've showed, you know, them my, my evidence that I've gathered. And in the end, I feel that's all you can really do, is plant a seed and let it grow, or let it wither away. Some people just don't care. They just don't care. They can't, they either can't grasp, yes, Simply Divine, exactly. It's just, but you can't force people to accept things. What's the old saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. It's it's like anything else. There's certain, oh, I don't think flat Earth is the end of the story at all. I think there's so much more that is hidden that we don't see, that we just don't see taking place and happening. Um, no, see, to me, flat Earth is the beginning of the story. I've been looking for the beginning. Oh, that was. Thank you for saying that. That saying that flat Earth is the end of the story. Um, to me, and it is. It is the end of the story for so many. You're right. But there's, for so many, it's going to be the first chapter of their awakening story. This is going to be that slap in the face, that gotcha haha moment, that spark of realization is going to happen because of flat earth. And then all the other things will start falling in. You don't have to believe in Sandy Hook and the Boston bombing and 9/11 and all this stuff. You don't have to believe that they were all, false flags or whatever you want to call them to come around to the flat earth. But the flat earth is such a lie and a deception that once you realize that they're lying to you about that, it opens a floodgate in your mind for all these other things that they could be lying about. Because there are, I know it's definitely not everybody, you know. There are so many out there that don't have to know it to do their jobs. But there are people out there that know this stuff, that know the true shape of the earth. They're in seats of power that we put them in, that we place them upon, that gives them certain information that isn't decompartmentalized. And they get to see the whole puzzle, not just a piece of it. So there is people alive right now that are deceiving us knowingly. And there's a group of them. Yeah, awesome, Trav. Actually, I was thinking we were going to plan on trying to hang out last night, but things came up. We had my truck apart, and my truck just turned. It actually has 265,000 miles 000 on it right now, and that thing is in amazing shape. I am so proud of her. We had her hooked up to a bunch of diagnostic tests and machines yesterday. Got some things running, some plugs that I didn't put back. I went with no heat on my floorboard for years. Gosh. Oh my gosh, it's been that long. Like 10 years almost. I went without heat on my floorboard because I thought I was going to have to take apart my whole dashboard again. I thought it was something that I did with the heater core or right next to the heater core. And it was a little plug hanging somewhere. I had to take off like 2 screws. I felt like such an idiot when he was like, oh, here's your problem. This plug's not plugged in. I thought I had it plugged in. I felt like such an idiot. But now I have heat and air conditioning again and all that good stuff. And, oh. But no, Travis, I'd like to get a hangout going almost daily. I'm trying to find a good time to do it. But just, a hangout kind of like the flat earth debate, but no trolls allowed. I'm not. It'll be a group of people that can all just get together and shoot the shit, kind of like a Poncho Pete, but not a 24-hour one. We'll have a set thing. People can come in. Oh, I wanted to talk to you too, Trav, about gravity. That's a good idea. But about Nora, she and I talk a lot about electricity and things like that, and how there has to be a force, some force, making denser objects move, or any object move in a certain direction. The directional force that creates down. And I'm in her boat that it can't just be density. Ooh, plasma. I love talking about stuff like that. That's right up Dan Dimensions alley. That guy, if you haven't seen Dan Dimensions stuff, see that's it. Oh man, there's so much stuff for a lot of the people who are just getting into this stuff. I mean, I can think of so many mind altering videos that once I saw them, it was just like a spark, like a switch was flipped. And it made me start thinking totally differently about this world and this place and how it could possibly work. And I would love, maybe I should just start making playlists, maybe? Alright, cats, thanks for swinging by, sweetie. You take care. Have a great day. Smile at somebody and see if you can get them to smile. Say hi to a tree for me, if you would. Smiles are contagious, folks. They're better than a yawn. Um, a smile. I wish I would have had a little camera on me at the Flat Earth convention in Denver this year when I was there. I was a door greeter. And I would have loved to have just a little camera on where I could show you how many people I got to smile. With just a smile. That's all it takes. And it can't be fake smiles. They might make a couple people smile. There'll be pity smiles most likely. But when you smile, a real genuine smile, like when you're happy, it spreads to other people. It grabs other people. And even if it's just for a second, it changes them that day, that moment. And not everybody. I'd like to get a percentage on the amount of people who smile back. But go out today and do a little test. Oh, that's wonderful, Simply Divine. But yeah, go out and give a smile to somebody, or share a smile with somebody. Maybe I'll start calling it that. Go share a smile, because it's so true. If you can rub off your smile onto somebody else. These are things I want to start paying attention to. I'd like to see somebody smile at me and make me smile, and then start focusing on the feelings that I get afterwards. Um, Even as observant as I try to be, I think it's almost impossible to observe everything that our senses take in. Oh, absolutely, Marcel. I don't tell anybody ever to believe me. Don't take my word for it. Please go out and try it yourself. Test it yourself. Um, I am a big fan of knowing. I don't like to believe things. I don't like to take other people's words for it. Um, I I don't mean to offend anyone when I say, well, I've seen so and so do it, but I've never done it myself. I'm absolutely not calling you a liar. I'm just letting people know that I've never done it. I don't know for certain. Like some of those. That's why I went out and bought a Tesla coil and a Van de Graaff generator and my gyroscope and all my lenses and the lasers and my camera and my telescope and my sextant, and hopefully I'll be getting some of that stuff down here pretty soon. We can start really doing some cool tests and stuff. But yeah, it's when you have the ability to go up to people and say, well, no, this isn't, me pointing you to someone else's video, and it's like, that's me. I did that. That's something that, I can tell you that I know. With confidence, I can say, oh, I know this. I did this myself. But no, I think we need to start re-releasing or redoing some of the old tests and observations that we've made to share with a lot of these newer people. Even if it's still taking the old video, maybe putting a different audio over, and anybody can use any of my footage. Make it your own. But, any of the observations that I've made, if you'd like to just cut out the audio and put your own audio in over it, it doesn't, whatever you guys want to do. And you don't even have to give me a shout out in the video or anything. I just want the knowledge to get out there. If anybody's really serious into like video editing and making videos, I can send you all the raw copies of all the photos, and I've got hundreds of sunspot rotation photos, all my experiments or tests, observations that I did in the warehouse and things like that. I've got all that stuff, all the stuff I did on the rotation of stars. I've got all that footage still. I don't have the actual video footage though. I have the stills and I have the video footage. I did all that stuff on my phone, and then I'll erase the video afterward to make more space. But every video I've done has been done on a cell phone. So you don't need a lot of fancy equipment to even make videos. Thank you. Yeah, it's how things should be. The whole copyright, this and that, yada yada yada. That's one reason I don't use anybody else's videos or anything like that in any of mine. There's so many Walter Lewin quotes that I would love to share with people, because he shares these little tidbits of information. Right now, I don't know how long they're going to allow it to be up there, but you can go get pretty much a degree in physics from MIT for free with all the stuff Walter Lewin has put up on YouTube for free. All of his lectures, I believe it's of his 2011 set of classes. Just amazing. Yeah, and making videos isn't for everybody. It'd be a good time to go over a lot of this older stuff that is so, we just have it in our heads as, yeah, this is how it is. But there's so much out there that a lot of these newer people have never seen. And I think they would really benefit. Because when you see a video, even when you see stuff that's years old, some people see that and they're like, oh, it's not new. I know it took me a long time to make a video. I've been on YouTube since 2011, and I think I made my first video in 2016, and it was about flat earth stuff. Yeah, I was trying to watch you live yesterday, Trav, but it just wouldn't. It just sat there and buffered. Then I saw the video pop up and it was like 6 seconds long. I watched it, but yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, any way to spread the knowledge. Just plant a seed. And we're not gonna wake everybody up. There is cognitive dissonance, and there will always be people that are not going to go against their authority figures. You will always have these types of people. When the television tells them it's okay, then they will be okay with it. But until that very moment, that the television says that the earth is flat, the earth will be a round spinning ball, no matter what you tell them. I like to think of them like ostriches. If I just bury my head in the sand and don't run and don't fight and don't do anything, hopefully it'll just pass by and it won't affect me. Crow 777 vid. I'm not sure what you mean by that one, Trav. I must be lagging here pretty good. No, no. The video you put up about the Chesapeake Bay. Yesterday, you were trying to go live, and we were trying to watch your stream, and it kept just going to a buffering circle and a buffering circle, and finally it quit saying that you were live, and it had a video up that was only 6 seconds long. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, it's already 8:30. Here. I can do this for a little bit longer, I guess, and then I'm gonna get out there and get back in the garden. I got some more raking up to do. I gotta burn a little bit more cardboard. It's gonna rain tonight. They're saying we'd like to get a couple things fixed up. 2:30 p.m. in Italy. So that's a 6-hour jump. Yeah, didn't you try to go live yesterday from the Chesapeake Bay? I know Karen, Sun and Moon. Hey, Constance. Welcome, sweetie. Near Venice. I've never been to Italy. I've never been really out of the United States. I've been into Canada fishing. And that's it. I've never left this country. I've been all over the country. I did about 8,000 miles in the last 4 months. Traveling around it. Seeing some of the stuff. But no, I'd love to do Europe and really Italy, Greece, love to see England and Ireland, Scotland, all the British Isles up there. I'd love to really just drive all. Really, I'd like to backpack Europe one summer, just go walking around and camping. I'm really into the whole camping thing. Learning how to cook and all that kind of stuff and stay clean out there, and maybe one of these days fall into some money. Yeah, it happens, Trav. What are you gonna do? You know? Stuff like that happens. hey, you're out there trying, right? The technology isn't always going to work for us, but as long as we keep plugging away at it and keep trying, you know, and that you learn something from the experience, just learn something. That's that should be a lesson, a life lesson that is never forgotten. The old Chinese word for, oh, what is it? Oh, like a catastrophe. The Chinese word for when somebody's having something bad happen to them is also another word for um, opportunity. Opportunity and crisis are the same word in Chinese. I don't know this for sure. I don't speak Chinese, but I've heard this. Oh, that'd be awesome, Sute. But the Chinese word for crisis and opportunity are the same word. And some people say it's because, oh, when someone is having a crisis, it's an opportunity for someone to, take advantage of their crisis and make it an opportune moment for themselves. I'm not even sure what the word is. It may not even be a true statement. Like I said, I just heard this from multiple sources, but opportunity and crisis are the same word. And some people say, oh, yeah, it's because some people are taking advantage of this person in crisis and they're getting the opportunity. But the way I see it is even when you're having a crisis, you have an opportunity to learn from this crisis. That the material possessions you may lose is not the real, you know, the real treasure that's taking place. The knowledge that you're gaining from this crisis is the real treasure. That's your opportunity to learn from it. And that makes so much more sense to me than thinking about how you can screw over somebody else when they're in a crisis, when really it's when you're in a crisis. It's hard to do, but you need to look for not even a silver lining, but just the little bit of knowledge that you can obtain from what has happened to A, not allow it to happen again, and B, just to grow as a person. And yeah, we have to learn from our mishaps, even when we're not the ones creating them. It's always good to just to learn. That's the real, that's the greatest treasure. I don't have kids, so I don't know about all that. I'm sure they trump just about everything. But the knowledge that we obtain, that'll last longer than any material object on this plane. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Nora just sent me my Skype asking if there's any good electricity experiments she could try at home. Oh yeah. My thing was the first thing I went and bought was was my electrostatic rods. Whoa. There's a rubber rod and a glass rod with a couple different pieces of fabric to charge them up, and you can learn a lot from just those couple things. It's really neat. But yeah, I'm gonna have to send her those. Then I got an electrophorus. I got my Van de Graaff generator, Tesla coil. I had a lot of fun playing with electricity, and I'm hopefully gonna do some more here. We're gonna see about getting, as soon as I sell a few more of these hats, we're gonna see about getting some of my stuff down here to do some experimenting with. My electricity stuff and my lasers and lenses, and or maybe take a ride up there to Indiana just for a day. Yeah, the electricity is just right here in the air. There's potential energy right at the surface, and the higher you go, they say, the stronger it gets. I'm looking on a way how to test that, because the way I'm thinking is they've never been had the equipment or capability of testing it at hundreds of thousands of feet, let alone 100 kilometers up, like they say. I think that's all nonsense, and that's all mathematical. Well said, Bruce. Well said. But yeah, if anybody is interested, I'll just throw it out there real quick. Crocheters Corner, the name of the thing, and what I do is I crochet hats, hemp beanies. This is a thick gauged one right here. We got a thinner gauged one also. Yeah, the kite and key, exactly, but how high can you get the kite to go while still attached to a key on the bottom? The wire would just start weighing huge amounts of weight. But yeah, in the description of any of the Crocheters Corners, you can find out how to buy one. Um, and they'll help me to die of soul. Just keep at this kind of stuff. I've had a bunch of you already support me, and I appreciate it so much. But I know, yeah, the whole electricity and being able to test it at high altitudes, because water. Oh yeah, glyph. Oh, there is a motor out there. Now I've just seen it on video with a bunch of engineers standing around and this and that, but it was made with neodymium magnets, all arranged. I used to have the blueprint for it, but that was on a different phone. But it was a cylinder, real long, not real long, but like yay, cylinder shaped, and it had a bunch of magnets aligned in certain ways. Flat Plain, Oregon, what's going on? Yeah, I couldn't understand it either. The magnets had to be set at just the perfect, and they were made specifically for this. But he just took a little hammer, and it had a little fan on it, the end of the motor. So here's the front of your motor right here. And it came out like about that long, and it had a fan blade right here. And on the back, he just took a little hammer. He's like, once it gets going, it'll just keep going. And he took the hammer and hit it, punk, tink, and the thing just spun up and instantly, they put a wind tunnel on it, and it was creating all kinds of power. Yeah, it was amazing. But it ran on nothing but magnets. And it could put out some energy. And I saw that a couple years ago. Well, this one he didn't have any type of electricity wires or anything like that running to it. He started it manually with a little hammer and hitting it down, and it just took off. Yeah, it was amazing. I'll see if I can't. I'll probably have to ask some people if they still have the video. I mean, not having a computer is very liberating. I love it. You know, it keeps me from sitting in front of the screen all day and just doing everything on my cell phone. But in other ways, it's like, man, I wish I had that saved, or this link saved, or that link saved, or this video and this. Just having the hard drive to store all that stuff. And I know there's external hard drives and this and that, but I'm going in the opposite direction. I'm going towards no technology and all DIY, do it yourself with your hands and build it and grow it and can it and okay. I will, Glyph, thank you. Yeah, Ed Leedscallion, the stuff that he did out there in the Coral Castle. Actually, I'm in Florida. That'd be a cool place to go check out. Do a video on it. Show you all how. Yeah, firsthand. Instead of watching things, I could actually be there and see the stuff. Tesla, a lot of the stuff that Tesla's has already been recreated on a much smaller scale, but they're still sending electricity through the ground to other sources that are just have the same frequency, and they're lighting stuff up and doing all kinds of amazing stuff. It's really almost like, I don't want to say groundbreaking because it's so old, but things that just normal people are able to do. Now, if we had the money backing somebody up, they could probably go out and build a real one of these, like he had in New York and started out in New Mexico. He said he'd figured out his flaw. He needed a reservoir beneath his device, unlike the one he had up in, I think it was called the Wardenclyffe Tower, up in New York. They don't ever really talk about the one out in New Mexico. It's hard to even find any information on it anymore. Google has become, it's weird. It's like the common modern day book burning of so much information that they're just getting rid of, that they don't want people to see. I don't know if you all know this, but Stephen Hawking was a flat universe theorist before he became an astrophysicist. When he graduated as a physicist, I think at the age of 17 or 18, he he had put out a few papers, which you can't really find. I had found a PBS article that is now erased, and you can't even find the picture of it anymore, of his flat universe theory. But if you go back in my videos, really far back, there's a couple Stephen Hawking videos right in a row. And the only reason I was able to find it was because somebody had made fun of me for making the first video, or we were arguing about Stephen Hawking being a flat earther. And what it showed was Stephen Hawking had a petri dish filled with water and land poking out of it. And he said that is where we live. He said there's a hot surface beneath us and a cold surface above us. And we live, or not a surface, but a hot beneath us and a cold above us coming together, and we live on the crust that it had formed. And then in the article, it was just a one-page PBS article, it went on to say how, of course, Stephen Hawking is wrong because we see ships going over the curve of the Earth, and we have photos from space, and this, all the same old nonsense. A lie within. But yeah, Stephen Hawking was now, whether or not that's how or why he ended up in his little chair or this or that or yada yada yada, I don't know. That's all the speculation and stuff like that. But I do know, yeah, it was a PBS article, and it was really weird because just like 2 months after I had, not even 2 months, I didn't even get to make a good video about it because I couldn't find it. By the time I realized they removed it, the only place I could find it was on this guy's video who was making fun of me. Yeah, if you just type in my name, you can go see his video. I think he's Mr. Diamond Dirt. He makes videos about video games. This was like the only video he made about, so I don't really see him as being a troll. I don't call him a troll. But he made a video about me being the dumbest man on earth. And if you just type in my name, Zachary Zabala, it'll pop up there at the top. But in that video, you can get a clear glimpse of that PBS article. Mine, not so much, because I was recording it off of a dinosaur television. But on his, you can get a clear view. But yeah, it's a PBS article that Stephen Hawking's flat universe theory. And it's gone. You cannot find it on Google, Bing, Firefox, none of the search engines. Are you going to find a picture of even his petri dish picture that he had created back in the day. You won't find any of Stephen Hawking's papers online before 1965, when he put out his papers on black holes and astrophysics. Now this was a super genius at a very young age. He was well known as being above average. Graduated college at like 17 or 18. And to think that they wouldn't have even like his high school papers, somebody, or at least his college papers. When you have a 13, 14-year-old entering your college, you're probably thinking that they're pretty smart. And maybe we should, hold on to a couple of the, you can't find them. You cannot find any of his papers before 1965. I know I couldn't. But yeah, it's amazing how easily they can erase things from the internet. Oh, maybe I should change the name of my video to Stephen Hawking's Flat Universe Theory and see if that'll pop up on Google at all. Do a little testing within Google. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm going to get rolling here, folks. Almost done with the hat. I just daylight's out. It's well past daylight, and want to get working before it starts raining. We got some stuff to figure out. Oh, here comes Abby. She loves Hank. But yeah, it was a good chat this morning. I love y'all. I'll see you around. Hopefully I'll do another one of these this afternoon. Always a pleasure, Constance. Mike. Yeah, get hard copies. Good call. But I love y'all. Oh, thanks, Bruce. Yeah, if you want one, the links will be in the description on how to get one. I appreciate it. Each one's made with love and good intentions. So, yeah, I'm gonna get rolling here, folks. That was a good chat. We'll do some more of these. You have a great day too, Glyph. Um, ciao. Thank you all for joining me. I love y'all. I see you around. Good times for all here signing out. As always, thanks for watching.